In December of 2020, I had appendicitis and I was in between jobs at the time and I didn't have health insurance. And so my initial bill was $48,000 and that was overwhelming. And then through a COVID relief fund at the hospital, my bill was cut down to $9,000, which was a huge blessing. But it still was a large financial burden.
So it was the summer of 2019. And we got a diagnosis that one of our kids, their body doesn't process mold or toxins the way ours does. And so we also found out that we had dangerous presence of mold in our house, and we were renting this house, so we couldn't remove it, couldn't get it out. And so in the space of 3 or 4 days, we had a garage sale, if you will, kind of a ditch sale, and we moved suddenly. So just in 72 hours. And so there we were, just getting rid of probably 75% is a pretty generous estimate of what we lost in that short span of time. And it was like anything that wasn't solid, so anything porous had to go.
Yeah, so my wife and I, we have 2 young kids, including a newborn. We're actually newer to the city. We moved here about a year ago, and that's already isolating, but we actually only have 1 car. And so 2 young kids, doctor's appointments, trying to get around to meetings, working for the church, it has been really challenging. And throw on top of that, wife's not able to go to women's events or easily or play dates, whatever it might be, and just 1 car was a huge challenge. We would literally, the last thing of the day, we'd look at the next day and we felt like we needed a PhD in like structural engineering to be able to navigate our calendars. It was crazy. I mean, the average day we were going, sharing the car, dropping it off about 4 times. Church was one of the most difficult days of the week, Sunday, not because of anything happening here, we love it here, but because of the car. The car poses this horribly challenging scheduling, just nightmare.
I met with a pastor at Redemption Tempe, and within several hours, I kind of was able to explain my situation, and within several hours, I got a call saying that because of the generosity of Redemption Tempe and the people here, they were able to provide me $5,000 to go towards my medical bills.
Over the course of a few weeks, we had also, both of our cars broke down in that season too. So we were out of a house, cars, and then donations just started coming in. Donations in the form of money, labor, helping us clean, helping fix our cars. We got an air filtration system for a new home. We bought a new home. We had someone donate floors so that we could get rid of all of our carpet in our new home. We had our car totally kicked the bucket a few weeks after we had moved, and it ended up being our only car. And someone gave us a car. So within the span of 6 months, we probably replaced the majority of what we had. I mean, we had really lost. God had really lavished us and replaced almost everything in our home.
So it's a random Thursday. I walk into the office here at the church, and one of the leaders says, "Hey, Stephen, I got a question for you. What's coming? Who knows? You never know with these guys, right?" And he asked me, "Do you want a free car?" And I, come again? It's like I'm gonna ask you one more time. Do you want a free car? Yeah, yes, we want a free car. And I'm expecting, 1999 Honda Civic with 495,000 miles held together by dental floss and duct tape, right? Free car. No, this thing is great. It runs. And what was so incredible about this is the guy who gave anonymously, but he put new tires on the car. He got the whole vehicle serviced. He gave not just, hey, I got this extra car I'm not using, but we want to give the best version of this. And also, I'll say, our whole life changed. I mean, just on a tangible level, being able to have the freedom to go back. I'm recording this right now, and my wife's at a women's Bible study, right now. And we didn't have to sync up or anything. They're able to drop kids off at childcare, go experience that, get poured into. And our life also just got significantly easier. We were able to be plugged into community because of a car. And just a huge, huge blessing to our family.
I felt seen by both my church community and by God. I'd been going through a really hard season, just a lot of like health issues and bills because of those health issues, and just being met in this way, in such a tangible way, because of the generosity of this church. It was a game changer for me, for sure.
I know for me, I was already going through a pretty dark time spiritually, distant from God and kind of calling out to Him and experiencing a apparent silence. And for me to see God break into our lives with generosity, not just replacing things, but redeeming this situation and upholding us and, lavishing on us what we don't deserve. It was like God breaking His silence to me, to us.
Yeah. I think God really revealed to me that He's got it. Like, no matter what it is, when you lose everything, He's going to redeem that. And not just things, like, because He didn't have to. He didn't have to, like, return the things that we lost. But He upheld our spirits. And that, that even more than the things. Like, we're still together through a traumatic thing. And that God He really has given us all that we need for life and godliness.
Like I said, the guy didn't just give out of, hey, I got this thing I'm not using, but He gave the best version of it. And what challenged me with this is this idea of generosity, not just being what's comfortable, but really giving the best that we can. And realizing how much that blessed us and how much am I giving. I want to give the best I can give, not just the bare minimum, not just the scrap, realizing how much does that bless other people. And the other thing is, I wasn't asking for a car. I didn't ask anybody. We were just putting our head down. We're going to get through this. It's a hard season. Plenty of people are going through hard things. We just need to get through this. Because one car, there are way bigger issues in the world than having one car, for goodness sakes. First world problems, right? And it was somebody else saying to me, Stephen, you need another car. Like, your family's gonna thrive, and God's not calling you to just this suffering. It's unnecessary. And I wasn't asking for a car. Somebody came up to me and said, do you want this? I see your family needs this. We want to help provide this for you. And to me, just the idea of being in a community where you're seen, in a community where God sees you, and seeing, I wasn't asking for a car. God provided it through one man's generosity, but it only came to our family because we were known and because someone had eyes to see that this would actually bless our family. And just seeing the greater picture here of God sees me, God sees my family, and He cares about every little need, including a second car, which just encourages me, like, God is a good Father who actually takes care of His kids. And He's taking care of us.